Chicago Bulls Central. We're going to talk about some of the details that have come out about Lonzo Ball and his upcoming surgery and why it is so concerning for his future. We're going to get into all that and more right after the intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
All right, fellas. So I already did a video after it was announced that Lonzo Ball will have surgery that is going to cause him to miss most of the 2023-24 season. But we now have some more details that have come out about the surgery that he's getting. He's getting a cartilage transplant surgery. And I did some research on the surgery. This typically older people with more joint issues have this type of surgery. And I don't want to fearmonger. I don't want to concern anybody more than what they already are. But this does paint it more in a light that is going to be seriously concerning to Lonzo Ball's future. You hear cartilage replacement surgery. Where does that put you guys at?
That puts me at this, man. I feel so bad for this kid, man. But I think he should put, I know he won't, because I know he a hooper and he a competitor. But I think he need to start looking for his well-being in the future with his family, with his kids, you know. Like, forget basketball ain't the end-all, be-all, bro. It just looked really bleak when you get to talking about exchange, like changing your cartilage, like replacing your, that's crazy. I have never heard that before, bro. Like, this is really concerning for my man Lonzo Ball and his future, not beyond basketball, bro.
Exactly. This does become more of a, and I know he came out with the statement, which we'll read here in a second, but this does start becoming more of about a quality of life type thing than necessarily just a return to basketball. Now, we all hope that he can return to basketball. I don't think anybody's going to say that we hope that he can't return. Everybody wants Lonzo Ball to come back to basketball, and this is bigger than the Bulls. I mean, even if it doesn't mean, if he does not come back in time to play for the Bulls, I don't care about that in this case. I'm just talking about strictly the quality of life aspect and Lonzo to do what he needs to do to be able to just live a normal life again. If he can still play basketball after that, shouts out to him. That's what we want. But it starts getting a little bit more concerning with the picture that's painted after hearing the type of surgery he's having. Steve, what do you think?
It's sad. It's really just sad. Like it, because it feel like I grew up with this dude. Like I remember watching him in high school. I remember this whole rise to the NBA, and to see it comes to this, it's like a college replacement surgery. You shouldn't be having that at 25 years old. Yeah. You shouldn't. It should never happen. Like your college, like bro, that means he basically on bone. In retrospect, he basically bone on bone. So the fact that, like you said, it's a well-being problem now. Like the fact, like we gotta worry about like this man knee might be hurting just going upstairs for the rest of his life. Like that's what we talking about. We talking about, hey, he might have a son and he can't show him how to play defense like he did one day. Type. So like that hurts you in a whole different type of other realm. Like that can, like, we already know, we done with it, we done heard the D-Rose story, but now that he's talking more, we didn't really heard, like, it broke his spirit. Like, the man went through a lot of times, and, like, remember the time he walked away from, in New York, nobody heard from him, like, that was a dark time for him. He just needed to get away. He was tired of everything. Just, it's a lot of stuff I'm worried about just for him mentally. Let alone just us as a basketball. Like
another it's bigger than basketball at this point. Yeah. And Lonzo Ball's comment was this, released from Bulls PR. My main focus has been on returning to the court and getting to a place where I can rejoin my teammates. This has been a frustrating process, but I'm confident these next steps are the best path forward. To support the support of my family, friends, fans, and medical staff throughout my recovery is what keeps me moving forward. I can't wait to get back to what I love doing most, playing basketball.
Oh my God,
that's tough.
Yeah, that's man. Tough. You could just feel it spewing off that, like, it's really hurting him inside that he can't do the sport or the don't call it a sport. He probably do it for activity. He do it for the love of the game. This might be it for him. I know that's in the back of his mind. No, this is his fourth procedure since he's been in the pros, bro. Yeah. Like, and I know this devastating, dude. I'm gonna pray for him and hope that you could beat the odds, come back and be, something similar to the player you were a year ago. I'm with you. but it's gonna be tough, my guy. You might have to look at reality at this one for sure.
And for the details on the surgery, transplant surgery, the details of this: the surgeon removes a small round plug of healthy cartilage and a tiny bit of the underlying bone from a non-weight bearing area of the knee joint. The surgeon transfers the plug to the area being treated. So they are literally taking part of a healthy part of his knee, the other knee probably, and transplanting that into the unhealthy knee in hopes that it helps stimulate growth of that cartilage. That's
wow, bro.
And that we talking about whenever we say cartilage, like it's difference between bones and tendons and ligaments. It's different. Like cartilage is half of the time it's just the stuff you're born with. So like it's kind of crazy that you can even have this surgery now. Like that's just the test of modern
10
medicine.
years ago, I'm pretty sure this wasn't even a thing.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we have hope for, and I feel like that's what he has hope is modern medicine. And then plus Chicago is one of the best medicine places in the world. So he's in one of the best places to be in. So it's like that's the way you can only have your draw of hope on, because I'm like Haize just said 10, 15 years ago, this you're done. Like your career is over.
And I see someone in the comments saying full recovery 4 to 8 months. That's for regular people. For sports return, it can be between 7 and 18 months.
18
months after a cartilage repair. So let's be clear.
Year and a half, bro.
Let's be clear here. That's regular people. Me and you get the surgery. Yeah, we can go back to living our normal life in 4 to 8 months. As far as playing sports, it can be between 7 and 18 months. That is why, if you remember correctly, they said when this initially came out about him potentially getting a third surgery, it said 6 months, right? That's normal. But then when you look, that's just a return in life. But when you look at sports, that's why now when it came out, when it was determined that he's going to get it, they say miss most of next. Keep in mind, we're not even done with this season. The 6 months from now is the start of the season. You talk about missing the most of next season. That means pretty much they're expecting him to be out another year.
Wow. And Lonzo, oh my goodness, is that going to make the other knee start to hurt now? Well,
it said they're taking the cartilage though from a non-weight bearing part of the knee. So what that tells me is that it's part that the place taking cartilage is dangerous anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
They're taking it from a part that usually doesn't get wear and tear from playing sports or doing normal life things. So listen, it's a scary surgery
and then on top of that, he's been on using his other dominant knee instead of the one that's hurt. So that's also a thing, because I've hurt my knee. I should have gotten surgery, and I've hurt my other knee just depending on that one. So it's like that's also you got to look at. It's not even just the surgery, just walking around, taking the stairs, putting all your pressure on one side will cause pain. So like he can come back from now, and because he did so much dirt on one knee, he can do one cut, and who knows? So it's like it's a lot of stuff that it just sucks.
It just sounds like such a Hail Mary,
So I got more details. You guys want to hear some of these?
Oh yes, absolutely.
So they a study was performed in which 37 athletes had this surgery between June 2015 to March 2019. They had this surgery. Of those 37, 25 did return to sports, but only 17 went back to playing higher level sports, and they had a median return of 16 months.
Fuck. So regardless, it's another year.
Let's keep in mind, Lonzo Ball has typically been a slower recovery, and that doesn't mean it's going to be this one. I'm just giving the details, not trying to fear monger. But Lonzo Ball, typically, it's taking him longer to return to surgeries than the typical timeline. So if we're talking about the median return time was 17 months,
wow.
That's
we could be looking at 20. Who knows?
Dude, I don't know what to say about I really don't want to look at the business side and all that, because I think that's what really needs to be talked about. Like the Bulls are pretty much fucked at this point.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
They just got to eat it. You know what I'm saying? You just got to eat it at this point. But I'm just gonna pull for the kid and just hope for a miracle. I just gotta pray for a miracle for the kid.
And like I said, at this point, Bulls be damned. I hope that he can come back and play basketball. And like I've said many times before, like it sucks that Lonzo completely changed this shot, and he's done that with still dealing with injuries most summers since he's been in the NBA. Imagine how he would have been able to add to his game not dealing with injuries. Lonzo Ball, man, is already a stud and just would have been that much more if he would have been able to focus on his game. And I know people saying Brandon Roy, and it does. Keep in mind, Brandon Roy was bone on bone. That is why he got out the game. Again, not necessarily saying that's going to be Lonzo's future, but it does. If it puts you in that mindset, you're not wrong for feeling that way.
You're not, man. It's hey, man. Is his brother hurt too? LaMelo hurt too? I think he hurt
ankle.
Ooh, them Ball brothers. Ooh, LeVar. Ooh, your sons. Now he ain't talking no more, is he?
Nope.
I mean, he was just on Flight Sports getting interviewed, and he still made it seem like he was confident his son was going to be able to return. That this is why I tell everybody, and I understand people love the Ball family, but I don't listen to LeVar Ball about a goddamn thing. He will say anything to say anything because almost everything he said about Lon. You remember back when this first happened, he's like, "Oh, Lonzo's cool. He's going to be okay. He's going to come out with me. I'm going to train him. He's going to be back ready by next season." Now look at us, a year later, and it still ain't happening.
That's a fucking shame, dude. Hey, but man, I'm praying for this kid. That's all. What could we? We can't do nothing for Lonzo, bro. We spent you heavily paid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't want to say you gypped us out of some money, but
and I'm going to address. I was trying not to get to the business aspect, but since we're doing a live stream, let's go ahead and get into all of it. So D-Dub says this: Haize, the league has to adjust the CBA to allow teams to get a contract like this off their salary cap. This is not fair to us or any team that this happens to. There are provisions in the salary cap. Basically, the Bulls can file for a career-ending injury exception. What that would do, that they would still have to pay Lonzo. But it would not only clear his salary from the salary cap, it would also allow us to sign a player and not go into the luxury tax. Or they have the disabled player exception, which clears half the player's salary cap. But what that does is it still means that if Lonzo's Ball salary still counted against the salary cap, so if we didn't use half of that, which is $10.1 million, if we sign somebody for that, it would send us over the luxury tax, which we know we're not likely to do. So I'm sure the Bulls, after this surgery happens and waiting a little bit into his recovery, they're going to have to make a decision this summer whether to use one of those exceptions, as my dog just started nibbling at my damn ankle. So they're going to have to make a decision to use one of those. Now, one of those comes with clearing his contract. If they do file for the career-ending injury exception, which they more than qualify for by the rules of the CBA, that would mean that Lonzo no more Bull. But that does mean that would give them $20 million this offseason, added to whatever they already have, to be able to go out and sign a new point guard. Up until this point, I very much said that if you think that Lonzo Ball is going to return with you already knowing what the fit is, you maintain to that. But AK and Eversley got to start asking themselves the tough question of, even if we do believe that Lonzo eventually will make a full return, can you wait the 16 to 18 months this can potentially take and go through another season without addressing the point guard position in a meaningful way? It's a lot up in the air, man. A lot up in the air.
Oh, I think it's just not good business. I mean, you cannot wait for this kid another year, bro. You can't. It's just it makes no sense.
And the lower labs, I think I just answered your question. If you don't have to leave another super chat. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. But if I didn't answer your question fully, please let me know in the comments. I can go more in depth if you want to. So,
I did have a question for you about that. What makes them go over that career-ending threshold for they could? You said they're already able to do so.
So because he's missed a whole season and a half. On top of that, if the remaining part of his contract, right? He's slated to be out over 50%, the remaining part of his contract. They can file for that exception. And what that would mean is that doesn't stop him from making a return to basketball. And it doesn't technically mean your career is over. What that just means is that an independent doctor, so not Lonzo Ball's doctor, not the Bulls doctors, the NBA would hire an independent doctor to look over the situation. And if that doctor then says, yes, there is a higher percent chance that he is not going to be able to make a return to basketball, they would get that exception.
Wow. Oh.
Look like they need to look into
Appreciate that.
It look like they need to look into that. Just like they need to look at a lot of things. Because you can't just I've been saying it anyway. You need to look at this whole roster, and it needs to shift. And there's, like I said, this hostile is, with it being work for it to work, was heavy predicated on Lonzo. So it's like I just don't see no way them waiting. I feel like I don't feel like they're gonna do him dirty just by just straight up cut him. Our losses, plus it's not gonna help us. So I feel like
it would if we file for that exception. It's not gonna help us if we just
that's what I'm saying.
Just cut them, but yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's not gonna help if we just cut them because we're gonna be in cap hell at that point. But yeah, I just hope you just gotta, like I've been saying, you gotta sit down, come bring everything to a circle, and have that difficult conversation with everything, including Lonzo.
Yeah. The Bulls already faced the offseason where they had a lot of questions that needed to be answered, and you just added Lonzo Ball situation to that hugely. So,
damn, man, I feel bad because this is one of my favorite players for the last 2 years, even though he ain't played that much. Yeah, he was one of my favorite players to watch.
I mean, the Bulls, the best version, the most fun version of Bulls basketball that we've had probably in the last 5 to 8 years has been when Lonzo Ball was on the court.
That's an absolute fact. Absolute fact.
Damn, we can't have no fucking point guard.
None. Zero.
Bro, it's tough, bro. It's real tough, man.
Where is BJ Armstrong when you need him, bro?
BJ Armstrong.
Bro, don't do BJ. BJ went to the All-Star game now. Come on, man.
14,000 years ago.
Yeah, but you act like one of good. We ain't gonna do that.
You know what it is? Stevo's so young.
He's young.
I remember the half-fade motherfucker. I remember him. I remember.
What year were you born?
2000. I still remember.
This man said 2000.
Damn. Young motherfucker, bro. That's crazy. I love you though. You my little brother. But yeah, man. Anything left on Lonzo before we go?
Prayers up.
Prayers. Yeah, prayers up.
Yeah, this deep, man. This deep. Also, y'all lift up Stevo because he's basically going to be running Chicago Bulls Central on Saturday.
I'm tired of these Bulls, bro. I'm so tired. Y'all gonna help me. Y'all gonna help me because that's the only way I'm gonna get through it. Because hey, and it's a double. I didn't know we had a back-to-back either.
Well, I'm taking care of Friday, but
I know. I'm just saying, like, bro, I'm ready for this season to be over with. I'm tired of them. I'm so tired of them, bro. It's torture. I don't know what to say no more. I don't know what to say no more. I'm tired of being right every week. I've been saying the same shit every week. Like, bro, I'm tired of talking about Billy. I'm tired of talking about his gum. I'm tired of all this shit. I'm tired.
Damn. Cdubb just left. What happened? Cdubb to be up out of there. Is he frozen like that? Yeah. I gotta snap. Somebody snap this, please, and send it to me. What? That is an awkward place to be stuck at.
Well, you have to stop snapping my pic, bro.
It is, bro. I needed that laugh. After this dramatic stream, bro, I needed that laugh, man. That is hilarious, bro. We putting that back up one more time. Hey, Marlon, say cheese. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining this random live stream. We had to get some thoughts off I wanted to talk about because there were more details that came out, man. We love you guys. Make sure you're following the show at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, you want to leave a text message and our voicemail. The number to do so, 773-24. No, wrong show. I just did Bear Central. 773-270-2799. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. We out this mug. Peace, y'all.
Shout out.